This video is going to be your guide to living in Easley, South Carolina. And if you're thinking about buying a home, you want to know the good and the bad, pros and the cons of living in Easley, South Carolina. So we want to cover everything that you need to know. So that way, if you're thinking about making a purchase in the area, this can give you an extensive overview of what's going on in Easley. I'm David Crum, and if you want to know everything there is about living in the Greenville, South Carolina and the surrounding areas like Easley, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Greenville. So let's get started and jump into the pros of living in Easley. But before we get to the first pro, I want to share with you some of the stats. Easley has a current population a little over 23,000 according to the last census report. That's in 2020, so it's probably grown significantly. I would estimate 25 to 30,000 now, and Easley has seen double-digit population growth in every decade except for 2 in the last 200 years. It's going to keep going that way into the future. Easley's population could well double again by 2040 if it continues to see people expand that direction from Greenville. Now, the median income in Easley is around $55,000 for families, but that's not really necessarily coming from a job specifically in Easley because you have very close proximity to Greenville and Powdersville. By the way, I've got videos on both of those as well if you want to check them out. But what I'm saying here is people could live in Easley and work in nearby cities, or work in Easley itself, or they could be working remotely, or even have a home business. Home ownership is a big deal in Easley. Currently, over 67% of residents that live in Easley owning their own home, which is great for property values. Downtown Greenville is about 30 to 35 minutes from Easley, and this could arguably be a con if you like the downtown lifestyle, or if you want to head down there and you're not already making a trip. It's going to add about an hour round trip if you're trying to go downtown to enjoy some shopping or an evening at one of Greenville's many restaurants. Easley's on the west side of Greenville, and it's what some would consider a country town right now. It's really filling in as people look to be close to Greenville, but get out, have a little more space, and still have a hub for major shopping needs like groceries, home improvement stores, and your basic shopping. We're going to get into that first pro, which is going to be growth and appreciation. Here's the deal. Easley, as I mentioned earlier, is closer to around 25,000 in population right now. The city of Easley has open permits for over 2,000 single-family residences, in addition to townhomes and multifamily. So that's going to add a big population increase to the area. If you're someone who likes to speculate, or you really want a good return on your real estate, especially as your primary residence, or maybe you're looking to buy some rentals, especially with that 17 new commercial projects of all sizes in progress in Easley, then you need to be looking at Easley as a place to buy. Greenville is continuing to lead the upstate and much of the nation as a place to move to, and Easley is benefiting from that trend. There is so much room to grow there, and homes in the last 5 years have appreciated more than 50%. That is significant, and you can imagine how much equity that a lot of homeowners that live in Easley now have since they've been there for the last 5 years in their homes. This is very significant growth, and you're probably headed in the same direction for quite some time. Remember, we're going from 25,000 to probably double that in the next decade or two, probably closer to 2 to double. How long it takes to get there will have to do with the growth of Greenville itself as it pushes out. To the west of Easley is Pickens and then Clemson, the 3 big lakes, Lake Hartwell, Lake Kiwi, and Lake Jocassee. These areas aren't growing as fast, but are seeing some growth. Clemson's national title football team has given more notoriety to the town. Combine that with their excellent education programs, and there are almost 12,000 more students there than there were just 15 years ago. All that growth comes with hiring the staff and building the space for this more than 50% population growth for the student body. If you're thinking about buying, this is now the time in Easley. The sooner you buy, it's always going to be better because you're going to build in that appreciation. And even right now with the interest rates the way they are, we're still seeing a lot of activity in the neighborhoods of Easley, South Carolina. Our team in particular is getting busier, and we're running into multiple offers again, just as rates start to creep back down. And if we see them go back to 6 or even below 6, we expect everything to probably get a little bit out of control again. And I know with the phone calls we're getting every single day that it's moving in that direction. Now, we're coming up on summer as well, and that's just something you want to be mindful as well when we talk about the market. The number 2 pro in Easley is going to be affordable housing for now. This is an area where we're starting to see appreciation happen very quickly. As I mentioned, over 50% in the last 5 years alone, but you can still find new construction homes there under $300,000. They're getting fewer and farther between, but you can still find some even as low as $198,000. Now, based on the last 90 days of activities, what sold is the lowest priced home you could move into on the market was $183,000, but it sold for $200,000, and that's $17,000 over the list price. And it was not a big home whatsoever. This is definitely a starter home that still needs some work to be brought up to market standards. Someone will probably move in and do renovations while they live there. If they put $60,000 to $80,000 into the home, then you'll see it come back to the market in the 300s for sure. There are still some opportunities to find some fixer-uppers if you want that, because Easley has been established for a long time, and it's going to have a lot of old homes scattered throughout, and ranch style homes, a lot of dated homes that older generations have been living in for a long time, and they're now ready to move up or maybe into new construction or downsize, and they haven't ever updated those homes. So there's a great opportunity for investors or first-time home buyers that are looking for a project, or you can just skip all that and move into some new construction properties that are still under $300,000. Here's a simple example of a house that is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $285,000. You can see it's brand new this year and ready for somebody to buy. It has what you need with granite countertops, nice cabinets, flooring, and it's ready to go. So you can get a nice home for under $300,000 on the new construction side. And if you want some land in Easley, then you have an example like this home. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath that just sold, and it sits on almost 40 acres. It sold for $2.125 million, and you're getting the land to go along with that and much more. It has outbuildings and even a smaller home at the front of the property. And if you want a little bit of land, you're going to find that opportunity at Easley as well for the time being, because there's still a lot of open area that hasn't been developed yet. As I mentioned, 25,000 residents, but rising quickly. If you drive around, you'll see a lot of open fields, a lot of hay fields, crops, and cattle. By the way, I grew up in Denmark, South Carolina before moving to Greenville as a child. That's a couple hours south of Greenville, and all that was around there was dairy farms and hay fields. And if you've ever worked in that environment, that's real work right there. Or you have homes like this that sold recently, like one in Northview, one of the most popular new construction subdivisions. For example, this 4-bed, 3.5 bath is 2,600 square feet, it's $325,000. And it didn't last long on the market. It's immaculate, absolutely beautiful, and you're gonna find top of the line new construction. I would say Easley is the city of new construction right now. Everything going up there, new construction all over the place. But again, affordable housing at this time, you can still get new construction properties around $300,000. You can find some much older homes, probably for under $250,000, maybe even under $200,000, as I mentioned earlier, if you want a little bit of a project. Because as you look at the pictures on homes under $200,000, you probably don't want to move into them as they are now, but you want to get them cleaned out, do some touch-ups and upgrades, and then you'll be well on your way. Also, before we jump into pro number 3, I want to highlight some of the main communities in Easley. You have Northview that I just mentioned, Linhart Grove, Livingston Park, Botany Park, Caledonia, The Farm, Linden Hall, Huntington North, Hidden Hills, The Meadows, Heathwood, Lily Park, Westchester, Providence, Audubon Acres, and Williamsport, which is a small airport community. Since I just mentioned it, let's talk about Linhart Grove. The community there features a pool, cabana, and sidewalks throughout. This is just minutes from downtown Easley and on the Greenville side. So if you're commuting to Greenville for work, your drive won't be as long. Linhart Grove is a D.R. Horton Builders community. Another new construction community in Easley to mention is Livingston Park. Livingston Park is conveniently located only 11 minutes from downtown Greenville, 20 miles from Table Rock, Clemson, Lake Hartwell, Lake Kiowee. The community is near plenty of shopping, restaurants, and parks on Highway 123 corridor, including the Doodle Trail, future Brushy Creek Greenway Trail, Nally Brown Nature Park, and the top-of-the-line J.B. Owens Recreational Complex, which I'll talk more about later. Livingston Park is offering energy-efficient craftsman-style homes with open floor plans, first-floor owner suites available, and 2-car garages included. Livingston Park offers that country feel with the city living that is perfect for any lifestyle. This is a Dan Ryan Builders, or as they're calling themselves now, DRB community, and has something for everyone in a quickly expanding popular area. It does offer limited basement homes if that's something you're considering as a feature that you want to have in your home. Since I mentioned a few things around Easley, let's talk about them a little bit, and that's going to be pro number 3. Doodle Park and the Doodle Trail are up first. The park features train cars, but it doesn't have a whole lot of shade some days, so it might be best to avoid midday. The Doodle Trail takes its inspiration from the Swamp Rabbit Trail in Greenville and was built along an old rail line as well. Partnership between Easley and Pickens, the trail is 8.5 miles long, connecting the two cities. Open dawn to dusk, the trail encourages walking, running, biking, rollerblading. It's open to pets, and there are pet drinking fountains and restrooms at each trailhead. If you're visiting Easley or just moved to town and want to grab a quick bite to eat, the Silos are a can't-miss experience. It's like the Commons in Greenville or the Warehouse at Vaughn's in Simpsonville. The Silos is a place to eat, hang out, mix, and mingle. And what was built as a grain yard in 1951, there now sits a brewery, coffee, desserts, burritos, sandwiches, and more. It's a mixture of shops all together. Events are often happening, so check your calendar on their website, linked below for more information. Pets are welcome at the Silos on weekdays, but not on the weekends since it gets a bit busier and can be overwhelming for our furry friends. The Nally Brown Nature Park is Easley's newest park and has 38 acres to explore. With almost 3 miles of trails, you can walk or hike through the scrub pine forest or a wetlands trail which visits a tributary of 18 Mile Creek where you can see mosses and ferns growing along the path. There's even a 1 mile ADA compliant trail. There is much more to do in Easley, but first let's go to pro number 4, and that's location. You may be saying to yourself, but Easley is 25 to 30 minutes outside of Greenville. Why do I want to be that far away? And you're right. If you want downtown living, then you'll have to count location as a con. But if you're wanting to get out of the hustle and bustle of downtown, avoid the traffic, just get some space, then Easley's location is a pro. Far enough out of Greenville to get home prices to drop some and give you more space, there's a good chance you can get a home without an HOA even. Easley offers a lot in its location. You can get much more space and home for your dollar without being too far from the convenience of your day-to-day shopping needs. Easley offers all the major shopping like big box home improvement, grocery stores, restaurants, and clothing stores. Easley doesn't have a Costco or a mall, but there is a Sam's Club, and otherwise, you're covered. Some more great local places to visit in Easley are the Foothills Playhouse, the Hideout Bar and Grill, Tropical Burger, JB Red Owen Sports Complex, the Smoking Pig, and in the summer and fall, the Easley Farmers Market. All these offer a taste of the Easley community, so let's touch on them briefly and you can choose what you would like to see if you're moving to Easley or just stopping by for a visit on your way through the upstate. Established in 1981, the Foothills Playhouse changed locations to the West End in 1981 and still resides there. It's a family-friendly theater, locally owned, and a non-profit. Its location is very close to the Silos, which I mentioned earlier, so dinner and a show is definitely a possibility there. If you're wanting to get the best burger in Easley, the consensus, as far as I can tell, is that you should head over to Tropical Burger. This cool place opened almost 3 years ago on July 4th and has been a hit ever since. You can grab the Sugar Daddy Burger to try a hamburger on the sweet side with a slice of pineapple. No matter what you choose, you're going to enjoy. The same goes for the Smoking Pig. This is an expansion location for the Smoking Pig, which began outside of Clemson and now has 4 locations. This is barbecue South Carolina style. If you're not from around here and want a taste of the South, this is the kind of place that you need to try. I recommend a big pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw, sweet potato crunch, and banana pudding for dessert. Make sure you top all that off with some sweet tea since you're in the right place for it. They also host live events sometimes, so be sure to check their social media and see if you can join in on the fun. If an adult night out is more your style, check out the Hideout. They offer a variety of fresh-made traditional bar fare, some burgers, wings, sandwiches, wraps. They also have a selection of seafood that includes fresh Gulf oysters, crab legs, and peel and eat shrimp. The JB Red Owen Sports Complex is terrific. It's a large 140-acre park opened in 1999. It includes 3 indoor basketball courts, 8 ball fields, batting cages, pickleball, disc golf, playgrounds, picnic shelters, walking, and nature trails. The complex has hosted several large events like the Little League World Series, with nearby Southern Wesleyan University acting as the home village for players, coach, and families. It is really a big complex and worth a visit. Another pro for Easley's location is the chance to get outdoors in the upstate of South Carolina. Easley is close to some great lakes, as I mentioned before, Hartwell, Kiwi, and Jocassee. Hartwell is the widest and the shallowest of lakes, offering the warmest temperatures, and some great places for getting out in the boat for fishing and skiing. If you need a closer lake, Lake Saluda is between Easley and Greenville, but is much smaller. You can easily reach the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and explore the vast nature available there. If you love to get into the woods, South Carolina is the place for you. Accessible year-round, the many state parks, national parks, and nature preserves offer hikes, waterfalls, camping, and more. Depending on the time of day, you'll be able to see not only great flora, but some awesome fauna as well. Watch out for snakes sunning themselves on the path and black bears. but otherwise, nature isn't out to get you in South Carolina. You can see deer, turkeys, beaver, groundhogs, fox, raccoons, skunks, otters, and possibly a bobcat. There is a really slim chance that you could see an elk in the northern part of South Carolina. They aren't technically back in South Carolina, but since they were reintroduced to the Great Smoky National Park in North Carolina 20 years ago, there have been occasional sightings on this side of the border with our northern neighbor. A con for Easley's location is the distance to the airport. If you're someone who only flies for vacation once or twice a year, I don't think this is a big deal. In fact, some people will travel to Atlanta or Charlotte to fly in those cases. However, if you travel a lot for work, Easley is not close to GSP or the Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport. The airport is a 40-minute drive without traffic, but you should plan on an hour since missing a flight is a big risk just to shave a few minutes off travel time. For this reason, if flying from GSP is going to be a common thing for you, I would consider another area of Greenville like Greer or Taylor's, both just minutes from the airport. If you're considering Easley as a place to raise your family, you'll want to know about the schools available for your kids. Pickens County School District serves most of the Easley area, with parts of it spilling over into Anderson County District 1. Pickens County is proud to rank 3rd in ACT and SAT scores across the state last year, remaining in the top 5 for the last 6 years. They offer magnet schools, school choice, and a Montessori program inside one of the local elementary schools, Liberty Primary School, to the west of Easley proper. They also offer an AP program allowing students to get college credit by scoring a 3 or higher on the AP exams at year end. I offer a deeper dive into schools when I do neighborhood tours, so check those out to learn more details, or feel free to reach out directly or in the comments if you'd like to know more about specific schools in a specific area you're looking to move to. My next pro for Easley is the economy. A benefactor of the greater Greenville metro area, Easley's economy is doing well. Unemployment is 4.2%, a couple points better than the US average. Manufacturing leads the economy in the Easley area, supplying 17% of local jobs. The Baptist Memorial Hospital is another large employer in Easley. Easley is partially a bedroom community, with some choosing to live here and work outside of Easley, as I mentioned before. This includes people commuting to Greenville and even professors commuting to Clemson University that choose to live in Easley instead of further out in Clemson, Central, or Pendleton, South Carolina. Some of the larger employers in Pickens County include Duke Power, Blue Ridge Electric, and Bell South. Now for cons, crime is going to be a potential con of Easley living. While I see in polls, like the one on nicest.com, that residents of Easley continually rate it as a safe place to live, crime statistics say Easley is not as safe as many other South Carolina towns or cities, Greenville included. Like most cities, the majority of crime in Easley is located in a couple pockets. I think you'll know them when you see them, but you can visit city-data.com and drill down to find more empirical data. Going along with this small town vibe, one potential con is there's not a big nightlife in Easley. You can go to the Hideout for some music and drinks, but if you're wanting a real nightlife atmosphere, Greenville is your better bet. Even Greenville doesn't have a scene like our larger neighbors in Atlanta or Charlotte, but there are things to do after 10 p.m. downtown. If you're moving to the upstate for nightlife, you'll find more selection in Greenville than any of the other surrounding cities and towns. Taking your wife for a fancy night out is likely going to be a 25-minute drive if you're in Easley. This is wrapping up the pros and cons of living in Easley, South Carolina. If you're from Easley, please leave us a comment and let people know what you like most about Easley or what you wish you knew before moving here. That'll help anyone else who's considering Easley as their future home. If you're considering buying and you have some questions, just reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text and an email. All our information is in the description below, and if you want our free guide on selling your home for top dollar, then you can get that too. That's in the description below as well, and you have to ask yourself what's best for your situation. We're here to help you on your journey, and your journey is specific and unique. We don't know how to serve you best until we have a conversation, get to know you a little better, and figure out what's the right move for you and your family. Is it a good time to buy? Is it not a good time to buy? I know that it's tricky planning to make a move to sell your home, move to a new one at the same time, whether it's good to rent in the middle, buy first, sell first, any number of ways you can tackle the issue. The main thing is that we want to reach out and have a conversation and figure out what's right for you and your family. Timing, all of that to be as smooth as possible. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.